The mission of Love Inc. is to mobilize local churches to transform lives and communities in the name of Christ.
When I moved to Newberg and I found out about this Gap ministry and what Newberg was doing, I was all in from day one, because it allows us as a church to be specialized in the things that we are good at, and other churches to be specialized in those things. So it frees us up actually to do a better job at fewer things than try to be a one-stop shop for benevolence.
We came to Newberg 12 years ago. It was just great to see how all the churches were working together, ministering, and that there was an organizational hub that directed it, so you weren't having users and abusers of a good system that was there. So it was actually excellent to see. And I've heard a number of comments from pastors from other cities who say, I wish we had Love Inc. in our city, but we don't. And it just makes it way easier on the pastors and on the pastoral staff.
I see Love Inc. fulfilling the biblical model that's put forth in the book of Acts. And it's been wonderful for me to be able to focus our energies on what we're good at, and to be able to have Love Inc. come alongside and offer the services and ministries that they're good at. It's been a great marriage.
I would say that spiritual growth comes from serving. There's a sense of confidence that comes, and it may be through Love Inc., it may be through a variety of things, but some people that seem to kind of hang back because they thought, well, in the church, to get involved is to be up front leading worship, or to give a message, or do things that are very visible in a gathering, rather than seeing that the church is to be scattered, to be out working. And so when people do that, they build that confidence.
And they had this burden on their heart to supply laundry, soap and money to do their loads of laundry, and they called it Loads of Love. And then when she shared that with us, and we said, this could be a really good thing, and we can have it as our Gap ministry at our church, and you can be supported by Love Inc. and the church.
It can be easy to get insular and to forget the need that is out there. And so when our folks serve in our Gap ministry, their eyes are opened wider to the greater need that maybe we protect ourselves from in our daily life.
It's been exponential, because when 30 churches come together, their resources are multiplied. And I think that's the biggest impact, that we can do more together, as you have said, that we can give more and love more and serve more people.
I mean, if each church was trying to do it on their own, we could each be tallying up numbers and say how many people we served, and maybe the numbers would be perhaps the same. But what we wouldn't know is, are we repeating the same thing over and over again? Are we actually hurting people but thinking we're helping them? But because of the organized system that you all have with the intake and keeping track of things in a database, there's just an efficiency about it, and really good stewardship. And there's like a peace of mind too, of knowing that we're not doing the when helping hurts thing together. Because of doing it smarter, we're really truly helping people in ways that are beneficial and going to transform their life.
One of my favorite parts about partnering with other churches is, at the end of the day, I have to trust that the good news of Jesus Christ is going to be proclaimed in each of the churches in the community. And that's a big torch to hold on in your own church. We all know that burns within us, and we want to see this community reached.
Love Inc. in the churches, Love Inc. in the churches, Love Inc. in the churches. And I was thrilled that it wasn't just one or the other. It wasn't just Love Inc., the big organization that can market, but it was the churches. And it was such a positive thing too. And you don't get that in a lot of places. And they notice, they see that there's a partnership that's taking place here that is very effective and is really helping the people in our community.
We have lots of interactions that we've had in the past, and we're very thankful for that coordination that we have with Love Inc. Specifically, we have our Toy and Joy program that we're really proud of. It's been going on for years and years, and we serve local children in this community by making sure that they have presents underneath the tree, and we can make the holiday special. Well, we couldn't accomplish that without coordinating with Love Inc. to serve a lot of the same families and communities that need that assistance, and to make sure that every kid in Newberg and the surrounding area has a wonderful holiday.
Let's put them in touch as first responders, and oftentimes the first time they're encountering any type of social services is with a police officer. So let's put these people in contact with some resources to give them a lift, to give them a hand up, to give them an opportunity to help themselves while we're being supportive as well.
We also refer a lot of patients back and forth. We refer patients to you. It's the first organization mentioned so very often. If somebody needs something and they're coming in here and a need is identified that's not in our wheelhouse, something that we're not able to meet, that's maybe way outside healthcare.
If there's no Love Inc., it leaves it on the local church to then try to navigate the intake process, seeing what we can possibly do immediately. But what would quickly have to happen is then you would have to have a network of who you're contacting to see if they could help in that way.
The kinds of things that are happening because of Love Inc. just wouldn't happen. We'd be far less effective in the ministry that we do, in the benevolence that we give, and it becomes difficult to assess needs. It becomes difficult to address needs. We'd be duplicating a lot of the work that other churches are doing, and maybe unnecessarily so. And as a result, the resources that we have as a kingdom would be weakened in a lot of ways. And so it's been powerful just in the short time that I've had experience with Love Inc. to see, first of all, that unifying factor, that we are all working together. We're all doing the work of the kingdom as a body, but also that we're not competing with one another to be the one that gets to give somebody a cup of cold water. We're sharing together in those opportunities. And so without Love Inc., that just, as much as we want to think it would happen, it wouldn't happen.
Just the idea that there's a singular location that heads it up so that we can participate and not be the sole decision maker is encouraging, especially when you're now, like my context now, I'm a single staff church. So I have to deal with all of it.
Year to date, we've served over 492 families, 759 individuals through the GAPS dental clinic, life skills classes, and the shelter. Through the shelter, we've housed 17 women, 13 of which who have graduated into traditional housing. These are women that have come up against great barriers through addiction, abuse, family abuse, and mental health issues. The relational ministry statistics are year to date, 55 people have gone through that program, and we have a money management course that they have to go through, and through relational ministry, they have an opportunity to tap into a money match program. And year to date, they've paid down over $9,000 worth of debt. And that's through our particular relational ministry program. Those are great statistics. You can be assured that we are helping the people in our territory. There is no way to communicate everything that we offer through this video. I'm looking at these pieces of paper and all these things that we do through the church. And so I can't sit here and name them off because there's too many.
When we're asked by the Lord, what did you do for the least of these? That we could honestly say, hey, we could have done better, but because we are part of something like Love Inc., we did it effectively. We were a part of something that was doing it better than we would have done on our own. And we really, truly did minister to those who are in need and who are in our sphere of influence that the Lord has given us, and that we've particularly targeted them in a loving and graceful way, and that their lives are touched by the good news of Jesus Christ and the Spirit of the living Christ.
If among you one of your brothers should become poor in any of your towns within your land that the Lord God is giving you, you shall not harden your heart or shut your hand against your poor brother, but you shall open your hand to him and lend him sufficient for his need, whatever it may be.